Some bad news if you're an Arsenal fan. Because I can't lie, man. Listen, international break is a time where you say to yourself, forget football. I don't want to think about football. I just want to enjoy my own life. I get 2 weeks in the season where I can just talk about me and I'll get back to football when the actual football comes back. But how can you enjoy life when you hear that your starting defender is out with an injury and then your second starting defender and arguably your best centre-back is also out with an injury? And I'll talk about both players. I'll talk about both injuries. There's been some updates coming out over the past 24 hours because both set of players got injured in the last 24 hours. And it's kind of devastating. Imagine like, bro, it's a friendly. It's a friendly for one person, is a international qualifier, World Cup qualifier for the other person. But both injuries is not as bad as it seems. And both injuries, I kind of blame it on themselves and I kind of blame it on Arsenal, which I'll get to. You might sound confused about, well, how are you blaming an injury for Arsenal? I will explain. I will explain. Don't worry. I will land with that point. Listen, Calafiori's injury is been reported by, of course, Mr. Fabrizio Romano. He said that he left the Italian camp today. He tried to be available, but he can't force it now, which is what the Italian coach Gattuso said. Gattuso basically said, listen, I'm big up. Calafiori actually came to the squad feeling some sort of knock, and he wanted to fight for the badge, fight for his country, and we felt like he could only last like one game. There's no way we can risk it and make it worse. And this is my first initial point before I get to Gabriel. Calafiori, you knew you had a knock. Yeah, you knew deep down, brother, I'm not feeling 100%. I'm not feeling that I can play full 90 minutes for both games. Because Italy got two massive games. One, which they won, and another one against Norway, which if they have to win that game big by 6 or 7-0 in order for them to qualify automatically to the World Cup. If they finish second, they have to go through the playoffs. For Calafiori, you knew this. Why would you risk yourself? And for Arsenal, where is the understanding? Where is the, Calafiori, listen, we've seen that you've got some sort of knock. Are you sure you want to go? This is my issue before I get to Gabriel as well, where I don't think Arsenal are or have done it over the past couple months or even last season where they've actually been cautious with their players. They've actually said to the players, I don't think you should go. And again, sometimes you can't say that openly. You can't say, I'm withdrawing this person. But you can take a page out of Real Madrid's book, out of some of the biggest clubs in the world's book, where if we know we don't want to send this player out, what we do usually, we say, this player's injured for a week. This person got a groin injury for a week. This person got a nice little knock for a week. That means you can't go during international break. We always do that. We did it. This one with Dean Huijsen. We did it the one before with Mbappe. Like, we do this. And this is what you need to do, especially when you're trying to go far and you're trying to compete for the biggest trophies. Arsenal should have known, I'm first in the league. Why am I risking my players going out? Especially a Calafiori who's important to my team. Why am I risking it? Why am I risking it? So you should have said to Calafiori, sat down with him like, you've got a knock, my guy. Why are you going? Why are you forcing yourself? You've got a knock. That's what they should have done. But Calafiori, apparently, the updates are saying that it's just precaution. He's going back to Arsenal. He might not play the first game back, but he could be potentially healthy for the game against Bayern, the game after the first Premier League game back. But my issue is Gabriel. And my issue is Gabriel and Gabriel only. My brother Gabriel. First of all, Calafiori, I kind of not understand necessarily, but I kind of get why he would play and why he would force himself, because Italy are still competing and still trying to make it through to the World Cup. Okay, so they haven't made it through the World Cup straight away. Like he's still got a little bit of hope that I might finish first and we might make it automatically through. Because bro, you might already know Italy in the World Cup in the past 2 years, they haven't made it. It's been bad for Italy. They lose in the playoffs. So for Calafiori, he's trying to fight for his country. I hear it. I don't agree with it, but I hear it, especially because, bro, you're not going to beat Norway 7-0. Like, we already know this. So why are you forcing it? That's just my opinion. For Gabriel, Firstly, this is an international friendly. That's one. Okay, it's one. Actually, no, before I get why I'm annoyed about this, Gabriel got injured in the second half due to a groin injury. We didn't know at that point that this Donny was injured, or this Donny had a knock. This Donny wasn't 100%. Carlo Ancelotti came after the game and said, Gabriel was training by himself. By himself? Why is he training by himself? Because he wasn't feeling 100% before the game started. So if he wasn't feeling 100%, and if Arsenal themselves knew he wasn't feeling 100%, why would you play him? Why would he go? And this is where my frustrations comes in. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but if that happens to my club, I would be so frustrated. Because firstly, I'm frustrated for both Gabriel and Arsenal themselves. Gabriel, this is an international friendly. And for Arsenal, it's the same thing. This is an international friendly. It's not a qualifier. It's not a big game. It's not a World Cup game. It's not a super game. It's an international friendly. Secondly, Mr. Gabriel, you're not a youngster. You're not a person who's trying to prove themselves into the squad. You're not a person who's trying to break through into the Brazilian team. My brother, you are a starter. So whether you miss this game or not, it's not going to impact your future chances for the World Cup. I understand. The only part which I'm trying to play devil advocate, Gabriel could say, well, it's the World Cup season. I'm trying to impress. I'm trying to get my starting 11 at the World Cup next summer. My brother, you're already in the starting 11. Now, Carlo Ancelotti is not going to look at you and say to yourself, you know what, I'm upset that you never came, and you know I'm not going to start you. Of course he's not. You've got an injury. Thirdly, you trained with yourself. And Arsenal knew that because my brother, he was training in the Arsenal training ground. The game took place at the Emirates. So Arsenal knew that this Donny was training by himself, and you still didn't say nothing about it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, brother. Just literally say he's injured, fam. Just withdraw him out, fam. Recall him back. Nah, man, I can't lie. You might think I'm going too much. I'm going to be real. That speaks a lot of volumes to Arsenal and Arteta. You might say I'm bugging, but bro, the biggest teams, they do the most of the time, where they recall their players when they know, firstly, he's injured, especially when he's injured. But secondly, even when they feel like he's not 100, even when they feel like he's still healthy, but they ain't trying to play him in a useless game, they still recall him back and say, yo, he's injured, because they've got crunch time coming up. They've got some big games coming up. You've got Spurs coming up. You've got Bayern coming up. City's behind you. You've just drawn the game against Sunderland. Have some sort of understanding, like, yo, this is an important, crucial time of the season. Let me just call him back, fam. Like, you can do this. I don't know, man. I'm baffled. But the question is, what next for Arsenal? And I feel like they've got the players to of course, replace the Gabriels, replace, of course, the Calafiori. There's two options you can do for Arsenal. Two options. You're not... The difficult thing about it, you can't replace... One thing, I think a Calafiori, you're able to compromise. But with a Gabriel, defensively maybe, but going forward, you can't. And the set pieces, you can't, bro. Because this guy is a demon at set pieces. Whether that's goals, scoring set pieces goals, or even assisting his teammates with a head or something like that. So replacing Gabriel's threat at the set pieces is basically mission impossible. But one thing you can do is try to replace and compromise defensively. With Calafiori and Gabriel, that's two options you can do. Option number one is you can have a Lewis Skelly playing as a left back, and then have a Mosquera playing as a centre back, or Hincapi playing as a centre back. The second option could be put a Hincapi as a left back and put Mosquera as a centre back. Hincapi can play both centre back and left back, as shown with Leverkusen, but most likely what they will do is they will play a Lewis Skelly as a left back, and the centre back most likely would be a Hincapi, because Arteta and Arsenal, they prefer to have a left-footed centre-back rather than both two right-footed centre-back in Mosquera and Saliba. So what I'm expecting Arsenal to do is have a Lewis Skid on the left-hand side and have a Hincapi as a centre-back for the first maybe game, because I think Calafiori could return back for the game against Bayern. As for Gabriel, there's been no updates as of right now whilst I'm recording this video when he'll be back. Usually with a groin injury, depending on how severe it is, it could take roughly between 1 to 2 weeks, 3 weeks to 4 weeks, or maybe 6 weeks. I've seen it because Camavinga gets it most of the times. Camavinga usually is out for between 2 to 3 weeks. So me guesstimating, I think he might miss the game back after international break, which I don't know who, I forgot who it is. Then the game against Bayern, and the game after that, which I believe could be the Spurs game. So for Gabriel, it's a big one. I'm gonna be real, it's a big one. Hold on, hold on. Before I'm trying to guess it. Who's Arsenal playing after this, bro? Because if they're playing, because they might be playing Spurs. Oh my goodness. Wallah, I thought Spurs was the game actually after Bayern. It's actually oh my goodness. I can't lie. Gabriel Calafiori. Nah. If you're an Arsenal fan, oh my goodness. If you're telling me two of my starting players, my starting centre-backs, risk themselves when they know they weren't 100%, when they know they've got two big games coming up in Spurs and Bayern Munich, I'm fighting someone. Wallah, I'm fighting someone. This is, honestly speaking, again, Arsenal fans, put down in the comment section what you guys feel about it. But, if that happened to my club, I would be fuming at both of them and the team itself and Arteta themselves for not handling the situation, bro. Handle the situation. You've got two players who's not 100%. Why recall them back, Ak? I find it crazy. Put down in the comment section what you guys make of the situation. Of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, daily content during the international break on the second channel. Peace.